Hello, sports fans, and welcome to WWNAF Junior Field for tonight's special game, a game that is honoring and remembering Mason Ligon, one of the oldest, the longest tenure baseball coach in Franklin County history, and just a good guy. We'll having a lot of his former players here tonight to have a ceremony here to remember and honor him. And Mason Ligon scholarship will be given out tonight to the baseball player, and just a great man, and we'll be ready to get things going when they get everybody situated out on the field. But first of all, we've got to get started, we'll let you know we're going to have a baseball game here tonight with Halifax County coming in to compete against our home Franklin County Eagles. They'll be bringing in a one-loss record, and this Franklin County Eagle is doing a great job, I think, with the only loss to this Halifax County team. And Halifax County, I think, lost to Bassett, if I remember correctly. Anyway, should be a really good game tonight. We'll get things started here in just a second. We'll be right back with John Crutchfield be handling the ceremony out on the field. We'll be right back for the ball game and all the ceremonies before.
Good evening. My name is John Crutchfield. I'm the principal at Franklin County High School. And I want to welcome everyone out tonight to WWF Junior Field for tonight's game between Halifax County and Franklin County High School. Tonight is a really special night that we've been anticipating and working for several months now, because we're going to honor the legacy and memory of Mason Ligon, a longtime Franklin County High School employee and baseball coach. Just a few minutes, we're also going to give out some scholarships that, through the generosity of many of the people in attendance, plus many in the Halifax community and many in the Franklin County community, have donated to make possible. I did want to remind everyone that from day one, when Mary came in and talked to us about giving out these scholarships, she was adamant. She and Mason both wanted these scholarships to go to a Franklin County High School baseball player who was going to continue their career collegiately, attend a college and play college baseball. So through the scholarship process, I think we've come up with some well-deserving people for that. We do have a very short program, and then we're going to get to the most important part. But I do want to introduce Dr. James Priest, who has a few words to say.
Good evening. 1959, I was a snotty-nosed 10-year-old kid growing up in Halifax County in a small community called Scottsburg. And across the road from where I grew up was a family, Marvin and the family there in Maureen. They had two sons, Marvin Jr., we always called Junior and still to this day, and Mason. We had a field next to my house that was the size of a football field. And as kids, during the summer, we either were working in the tobacco fields or playing ball, or in other times of the year in school. But in the fall, we would make that field, we would cut it with a lawnmower that we had pushed by hand, and we kept it out, and we made a full-size football field. My dad was a tobacco buyer for Ligon and Myers. He had signs that made out of tin. We would paint the numbers on it, 10, 20, 30, 40. We had the entire field made. As small kids, we would play. Mason was in high school, a high school football star at the time. He would come over to the field on Sunday afternoons for the game of the week, and he was like one of the kids playing. One year, it was actually when he was in college, he finished up playing college ball. He saw us playing in the field. They had just gotten from church. He came over and got out there, took his coat off, took his tie off, came out and started playing. Well, they gave him the ball. I jumped on his right shoulder. My friend jumped on his left shoulder. One of the other guys grabbed his right foot. Another one grabbed his left foot. He took us all into the end zone, carrying us in. He looked like the refrigerator Perry, taking us all in. As he got to the end and we finally tackled him to the ground, we heard a large rip. And as he looked up, he'd ripped his pants from the back of his belt all the way to his zipper. We started laughing, said, "Oh, your mama is going to get you now." Because if you knew Maureen, Maureen was a big lady. Maureen was much bigger than Mason, if you can imagine that. She could have played in the NFL at any time. Mason loved kids as us. We admired him, not for the fact that he was a football player in high school and college, but for the fact he took the time to come out and spend just a few minutes with us small little snotty kids. And that love continued on. The love he had for here and the kids in Franklin County. He taught them the respect for the game, to play the game with competition and desire, but most of all to play it in a Christian way, respect your opponent and be humble. And that was what I see Mason to this day, as a humble, gentle giant. God bless Mason.
Thank you, Dr. Priest. And we also have a few words from Coach F.L. Slell, former player and Franklin County High School coach.
Yeah. These guys back here are part of the program. Mason was a husband, a brother, an uncle, a friend, a teacher, an athletic director, an administrator, a mentor, and a coach to all these guys. More importantly, he and Mary were a father and a mother to many of us. Mason was a big teddy bear, but he could be a big grizzly bear too, when he had to be. You knew as a player when that grizzly bear was going to come out, because he would get his red face as his Franklin County baseball cap and his jersey. And when that happened as a player, it was like, oh no, what's getting ready to happen? We didn't have this facility at the time I played. We were playing over at the high school at the old Fred M. Brown field, and we would practice. And a lot of times when that grizzly bear came out, he would make us run the back of Purdue Lane all the way to the dead end and back. And one day, we thought it would be pretty wise to take a break, sit on the bank, and wait for what we thought would be enough time to go out and back. Well, Coach Ligon was a little smarter than we thought, and next thing you know, you see his black pickup truck with Peanuts sitting in the passenger seat, and here they come bebopping up the hill, and we're sitting on the bank. The rest of that practice was more of the same. When Mary asked me to speak, she asked me to tell stories. That was one of them. But he also, at practice the first Saturday, we thought we were going to get to scrimmage. We picked up rocks on the infield. We did that for about an hour, and then he made cuts. And then he would take us over to Hardee's and get us some cheeseburgers. To this day, we're not sure how many cheeseburgers were consumed during baseball season. He also had our back. we played at Patrick Henry one night, won a close game, and usually when we won, we would always stop at a convenience store and then be able to get, pack of nabs and a drink for the ride back to Rocky Mountain. Well, we stopped at 7-Eleven over on Brandon and Brambleton, and Coach stayed on the bus, and the team got off and went into 7-Eleven, and all of a sudden the cashier started fussing. He was all upset. Some of the guys had gotten their drinks and their nabs and gone on out and said, "Hey, Coach, you might want to go in there. This guy's not real happy." Coach wasn't real happy when he come in the door and said, "Hey, what's the problem?" And the guy was all out of shape. He said, "Oh," he held up forefinger and he said, "You can only have 5 in here at a time. Only 5 at a time." Coach said that if you don't trust them, we'll do our business elsewhere. He made everybody take their stuff back in. Some of them had half open drinks, half a bag of chips. He gave their money back and we went on to the next store down the road. So he had our back quite a bit. I think the biggest enjoyment Mason had in his life was when this field was built in 1991. His face always lit up when he was at this facility. He was always there. When I took over the program in 1994, after a game, he would always sit the next morning and talk and chat about what happened, what we did, and how we did. Even when we played Halifax, he'd always want to know how we did. Not all the time did we beat Halifax, and not all the time did we lose, but he was always asking questions about that, and that was important. He would also ask about our old nemesis, Cave Spring, and wanted to know if we beat them and so forth. He was always there to lend an ear and listen, and he always took care of these guys behind us and always talked about them down the road. And the last thing I can say is job well done, Coach Ligon.
Coach Shelton, you care to help me for a minute? Now we're at the time that's most anticipated, and again, I want to personally thank Mary and the Ligon family and all the people with generous donations, kind words, letters, cards that come into the school even today. Even today, people wanting to do something in Mason Ligon's name, in his honor, and his memory, and I think that's a tremendous, as an educator, I think that's a tremendous legacy. So without further ado, with the help of Coach Shelton, Coach Hall, you want to stand up here and help us a little bit? I want to award some scholarships to some young men who are going to continue after Franklin County High School. They're going to continue their careers collegiately. They've committed to play baseball at the next level. And we're super proud of them, and we hope that through this scholarship from the Ligon family, it'll help them a little bit along the way. The first recipient of the Mason Ligon Scholarship, who will be continuing his baseball career at Roanoke College, is Noah Basham. Second scholarship goes to a young man who's going to continue his baseball and collegiate career at Ferrum College. Next scholarship goes to Grayson Chitwood. Next up is a young man who will continue his baseball career at Emory and Henry College, Cameron Mullins. Finally, the next young man, plans to continue his baseball and collegiate career again at Roanoke College, William Turner. On behalf of the Ligon family, thank you for your support of the scholarship in Mason's memory. And as the principal at Franklin County High School, thank you for your support and the things that you all do for our kids and our community. This concludes our program tonight.